one of the most haunted hotels in Australia. Standing here at the foot, staring at them. Ah, that's creepy. The disembodied footsteps coming up and down. Someone screaming outside my hotel room. Built right on top of the site of a former hospital.
Hello.
People on the bed where I'm sitting have seen him. Are you there? Hi guys, thank you for tuning into AmysCrypt. I have a very special episode lined up for you guys with this one because I am coming at you from Australia, which is my home country. I finally just arrived back and landed in Sydney, so I've checked in to the most haunted hotel here, and of course we are going to be spending the night in its most haunted hotel room. So get ready to explore and investigate the Russell Hotel with me. Okay guys, so before I give you a tour of my room and the hotel and its surrounding area, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Russell Hotel, because once you understand the history of this place, you really get a grasp as to why it is so likely to be haunted. Many people claim the Russell Hotel to be one of the most haunted hotels in Sydney, one of the most haunted hotels in Australia, and even one of the most haunted hotels in the entire world. It resides in The Rocks, which is a suburb of Sydney, which is very historic. Is actually the oldest part of Sydney and right next to the iconic Sydney Harbour Bridge. The Russell Hotel was built in 1887 and it was actually built right on top of the site of a former hospital, and this was actually the Convicts Hospital, built in 1788. And this place treated hundreds if not thousands of sick people, especially when the outbreak of the bubonic plague hit Sydney. The Russell Hotel in its past life has also been a sort of hostel for sailors who are travelling through and docking in Sydney, as well as being rumoured to have acted as a brothel. Just by knowing this, you understand why this hotel has so much history linked with it. It's also been remodelled a number of times, so it doesn't look the same way it did when it was originally built. Now, the most interesting part of this hotel to me and to any paranormal people out there is always room number 8. This room is said to be the hotel's most haunted room. The reason being is that there was supposedly a sailor murdered here a long time ago in this very room. And he was actually murdered by a prostitute. This sailor has made his presence known to many people who have stayed in room 8, and he usually appears at the foot of the bed, just staring at you as you sleep. Now, usually it is solo females staying in this room that have sighted this sailor. So it's generally not when people are staying in couples. So I think that tonight we're probably going to send Jared off for a little bit so I can spend some alone time with our sailor ghost. Now, the sailor is not the only person to have been murdered within the Russell Hotel. In 1897, Senior Constable Henry Morrow was murdered here. He was found with a star-shaped wound right in the back of his head. There are so many other reports of paranormal phenomena coming out of the Russell Hotel as well. A lot of the staff have reported to hear floorboards creaking as if someone is walking across them when there is nobody around. A lot of guests who have checked in have also reported to feel so uneasy that they've left early or checked out after one night, even if they've booked for multiple nights. They refuse to stay here because they're so scared. There's also been some guests who have reported screams as if someone is in pain or being murdered in the room next to them, yet it's later discovered that these rooms are in fact empty. There's a lot of electrical disturbances as well, so people's electronics have acted funny. They've turned on or off by themselves. The same goes for light switches and windows opening or closing on their own accord. A lot of people have felt the sensation that they are being watched, being touched by an unseen force, or even experiencing suddenly dropping temperatures. There's also been a number of apparitions sighted all throughout the hotel. In the lower floors, particularly around the kitchen or bar area, there is a woman dressed in 1800s attire, commonly seen walking through that area, though she's usually described as maybe being a nurse or maybe a maid. There's also been apparitions that have been sighted in the hotel rooms. People have seen them before they suddenly disappear. And then there's the footsteps. People hear walking all hours of the night, particularly up and down the stairs, and especially when there's no one around. Some people have claimed that these footsteps are so many and so loud, it might even sound like an army going up and down the stairs. Workers of the hotel have even said that recent renovations have amped up this paranormal activity, and these occurrences happen a lot more frequently now than they ever did in the past. A couple of other really cool historic facts about this hotel is that there is a pub downstairs next door known as the Fortune of War, and this is actually the oldest pub in all of Sydney. It was established in 1828 by a former convict, and it still runs as a pub today. Just behind the hotel as well is also a place called Nurses Way, and this is a skinny little alley. It was actually used by nurses back in the day when this place was a hospital, and that is how they accessed the old hospital here. So this hotel is going to be a really interesting place to stay and investigate tonight, and I'm really glad that you guys are along for the ride. I'm now going to show you around my room, which is room 8, the most haunted room. We're going to go explore the rest of the hotel so you guys can see everything there is to see here. I'm going to take you around the area as well so you can see the Sydney Harbour Bridge, because I have some creepy stories about that, as well as seeing Nurses Way and where the old hospital once stood. Alright guys, so before we do anything else, I do want to give you a tour of room 8 here at the Russell Hotel. This is where we're staying tonight, and this is the most haunted hotel room here at the Russell Hotel. So come in and get used to it because we're spending the night. Alright guys, we're just leaving room 8 now, and we're going to go and explore the rest of the hotel. I haven't actually seen it all myself, but let's have a look around. This is Circular Quay, Sydney Harbour in 1904. This is a panoramic photograph from 1904. This is crazy. So down here is the reception, but I think we might go up the stairs. This does seem kind of creepy though. This chair here. Well, this is kind of nice. And look what you can see over here, guys. That is amazing. So I'm not exactly sure where it is, but the oldest pub in Sydney is below me somewhere. I might actually be standing on top of it. It's super nice up here, and you can see all of like Sydney high-rise here. Yet we're in one of the oldest buildings in the city. Now, it might actually be these stairs here. I'm pretty sure that people have heard the disembodied footsteps coming up and down all hours of the night, and there's no one around. So that's pretty cool. Maybe we can come here later to check this place out. Wow, this place is such a maze. Oh, what? So there are a couple of other supposedly haunted rooms. One is room 20, and I think it was 25. A lot of people have reported having paranormal experiences in those rooms. Sorry, not that way. Oh my gosh. Staff only attic. Ah, that's creepy. I have no idea where I'm going. This is where we were. Oh, room 20. Did we walk right past this? I have no idea if we just came from this area or not. Well, that's supposedly one of the haunted rooms. Well, this is kind of nice. Oh look, Jared, there's a game that I could beat you at. I'm going to try and make my way out the front, but if you guys haven't guessed already, I'm not very good with directions, so I get lost all the time. So we'll make it out the front of the hotel, and I can show you the exterior of this building. It's just beautiful. So we're now at the front. You can see the Russell Hotel behind me on the corner. And I just think it's the cutest building ever. All of these buildings along here are old sandstone ones. The red one here, that's actually the building that we were just standing on top of. And I was right, in the bottom of that is the Fortune of War, which is the oldest bar here in Sydney. Alright, so as I was talking about earlier, this is the site of the first general hospital in Australia. So 1788 to 1816, that is crazy. And you can just see how historical this area is. If you look down on the floor, there's all these infographics about this crazy stuff that happened. 12 well-behaved convicts were made night watchmen. Isn't that cool? Alright guys, so I'm going to take you down the Nurses Walk. And this actually cuts down the back of the Russell Hotel. And you can actually see this little alley from our room where we're staying. It's a stinky alley, but it's quite pretty. This area has so much history. It's all related to the hospital. And people believe some of the hauntings in the Russell Hotel may be related to that history. So you can actually see our room. Ours is that one right here. And this is how close it is to the Nurses Walk. Alright guys, so just beside me is the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and this place is actually quite notorious. There's a few legends and myths surrounding this place. So during the bridge's construction, 16 workers perished, and that is because during the 20s and 30s there was limited technology and the work situation wasn't all too great. Now rumour is that some of their bodies are actually encased in the pylons of the bridge, for the reason being that it was just easier to cover their deaths and continue working over the top of them to get the bridge completed. Now this has never been proven, and it is a legend, it is myth, it's just a story, so I don't know if there actually anyone in there, but they do say that the bridge is haunted by those 16 workers that died there, as well as a number of people who committed suicide from jumping from the bridge. I would love to investigate the bridge, but guys, it would just be too loud and too noisy up there, and there ain't no way I'm ever getting that to myself. Okay guys, so I've just made it back to room 8, our haunted room, after exploring a bit of Sydney and the rest of the hotel. The sun has now gone down, everything's pretty still and quiet, and I thought that this was a good opportunity to reach out to our sailor spirit, who supposedly haunts this room, and see if he wants to chat. Alright guys, so I am now sitting in room 8 and I am ready to conduct a spirit box session. Very excited because I can actually reach out to our spirit in English. Right behind me, this spot right here, is supposedly where the sailor shows his apparition to people. People on the bed where I'm sitting have seen him. So I'm going to reach out and see, maybe he wants to talk, maybe not. Alright, night shot is on and I'm going to turn off my last piece of light. Ah, that's creepy. Okay, keep an eye out behind me guys and let me know if you see a sailor. Hi, my name is Amy. Is there anyone in this room that wants to talk to me? Hello? Can you tell me your name? Yeah, am I talking to the sailor who's in this room? Can you tell me your name? I'm not sure why my spirit box sounds like this. Doesn't sound normal. Did you say hello to me before? Can you say that again? Is there a sailor here? What is the name of the hotel I'm sitting in? Someone's screaming outside my hotel room. Why are you here? What are you doing in this room? I'm gonna turn this device off. This is really weird. My spirit box did this in the Philippines, in the old Diplomat Hotel, and then the next time I used it, it worked fine. And there's some weirdos outside right now. I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna try this again. Is there a sailor in this room with me? Can you come towards me and let me know that you're here? No. 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 Were you murdered in this room? Are you from Australia? What year was it when you visited the Russell Hotel? Can you say Russell Hotel? I'm going to be sleeping in here tonight. Can you let me know that you're here with me? Thank you. I did hear a few words. I feel like I heard a hotel after I changed the frequency. And before, when it was acting funny, I actually thought that I heard someone say hello a few times. Are you there? Which is super, super creepy. I'm sitting here alone and that's creepy. That was really scary. Are there any doctors or nurses around me? Okay, I just heard a FUD. Almost looks like a jail. I'm not alone in this room. Okay, now my camera's just lost focus. Can you tap or make a noise on the wall? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it and you want to see more of the Russell Hotel, make sure that you are subscribed because I have a part 2 video coming really soon where I do more paranormal investigating inside room 8 as well as all throughout the hotel. That'll be on my channel very soon. But if you did like this one, make sure to hit like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to do more reading about the Russell Hotel or other haunted places I have been to, head to AmysCrypt.com. You guys can also follow me at AmysCrypt on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Until next time,